When you don't go to geico.com, car insurance can be hard. Like early 90s heavy metal hard.
I'm yelling and screaming and I'm loud. Roar!
Geico makes it easy. You can review and update your policy or report a claim on geico.com or the Geico mobile app. Because shouldn't we all have a little less stress in our lives?
I'm not even upset about anything!
Blog Talk Radio.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first S4 on Sunday nights with your host, Eric Cooper. So, Eric, you're on the air. Go ahead.
All right. Hey, yeah, we switched to Blog Talk Radio because, the other one just wasn't getting the people in. Blog Talk, I think, is a better format. Don't forget, tomorrow night is, I can't talk, thearea51cafe with myself, Russ, and SJ. And then a supernatural supper on Wednesday nights. Don't forget that. And Spaced Out Radio every night with Dave Scott, 9 p.m. to midnight Pacific Standard Time. Don't miss it. They talk about everything under the sun. Outstanding show. And one of the sponsors of Forest Moon Paranormal. So, if you have questions about UFOs and aliens, by all means, pop them in. But we have a new division in Forest Moon that's popping up starting today, and I've already got 20 people jumped into the division that we're doing, and it's going to be looking for missing people using those with abilities. And that's always been near and dear to my heart anyway, being search and rescue and not finding people sometimes. But, SJ, this is where I want you to pop in. Being a medium yourself,
Mm-hmm.
how is that going to, how does that work?
In what aspect? What do you mean? There's a lot of different things here. Well, first of all, if you're a medium, we're definitely interested in having you in the fray, so to speak, because there are so many missing people, especially with Eric wanting to start in Washington. We have a lot of cold cases here that need to be solved, families that are waiting for a closure. So if you're interested, contact Eric on Facebook, right, Eric?
Yep.
Okay, and we'll we'll go from there. So.
Yeah, because I know there's various aspects of being a psychic, of being a medium. You got clairaudient, clairvoyant, and that's one thing we're going to be testing with the new members that come in. Do you need a picture to look at? Do you need an article of clothing or a piece of jewelry to hold? There's various aspects. And I know we discussed this like 2 years ago, wasn't it, with the cases up here in Concrete.
Yes, we did.
So it's something we've been kicking around, and then today, this morning, I got contacted by Jennifer, who is going to be our advocate. She actually is a volunteer with. Let me pull it up. I'm kind of blind here. She's an advocate. She's a volunteer, and she can clarify this in the chat room with NamUs. It's the National Missing Persons Data System.
Sweet.
And I'm not sure if she's an actual volunteer with them, but she's got a whole bunch of cases for us to start with right from the beginning. Now, we're focusing this in Washington State right now. And if it works out great, obviously we're going to expand it because there's 500 and something cases right here in Washington alone. And I was watching the video. It's a staggering number, but there's 80 to 90,000 people that go missing a day just in this country. Now, before you fall down, out of the 80 to 90,000 people, you're counting. A kid goes missing, wandered off. They get put it in the database, and they get found that day or the next day. Obviously, they're not missing anymore, but that goes into the number. So 80 to 90,000 people sounds like a lot, but a lot of those are going to be found within, 2 to 3 days, a week, whatever.
Right.
But still, this also goes in line with, I guess it was 2 years ago I heard about David Paulides. We can take this and incorporate this in with paranormal missing people and see what we can come up with on that. Because, and even Dave Paulides has no idea why there's thousands of missing people in national forests. Is it a portal that they walk into? Is it alien abduction? Is it Bigfoot? Who knows? I just know on the research I did after finding that those staggering numbers was a lot of those cases they found like the individual missing's clothes were missing, were folded up neatly and stacked in a pile. They found shotguns that were bent in half. They found other weapons that were completely dismantled. They had one case where it was a 3-year-old. They found him on the other side of a mountain range, to where a 3-year-old's not going to be able to travel that kind of distance over a mountain range. These are paranormal cases.
Right.
Many of the cases through NamUs they're going to be crimes, and with this team or this division we're putting together, we're not working with law enforcement, and we're definitely not working with families. That's where Jennifer is going to come in handy, because she's going to be the advocate. She's the one getting us the cases. And correct me if I'm wrong, Jennifer, I believe we use our team. We kind of identify an area this person's missing that we've found, and you're going to send someone in to search it. We will have nothing to do with families, because I don't want to cause more crisis with a family with false hope. So if I'm understanding this right, we're only there to look at the picture, kind of get an idea through using psychics of where the individual is, the subject, I'll call him, because that's what we call him in SAR. And then she's going to go to the location and see what's there before she identifies this to the family. That way, there is no false hope. There is no getting someone's hopes up and then crashing it again. That's how you get in trouble. That's how you get a bad name, and we don't want that. So excited because we already have 22 people. I've been pushing this out in 85 different paranormal and pagan groups, and the response is coming in. So we're going to start up.
I have a question. Just want to say something. For years, I've been wanting to do this, but Eric and I are actually on the same page here, because I really would love to find out what's happened to these people, because there's a woman real close to concrete that came up missing, and there's been so many people out there looking for her, and psychics trying to figure out where she's at, and I'm hoping that by the combination of all the psychics, we can come up with enough information to give to Jennifer, to give to the family, or however we're going to work that. I don't know, but I think it's going to be a great thing for these people. Closure is a major issue.
It is, and what I'm hoping comes out of this too is not only do our mediums that we're using identify the location, but sometimes you get glimpses of what happened, and we can potentially find out what happened and get people locked behind bars that need to be. That would be a bonus.
Oh, absolutely.
That'd be a definite bonus. Get these assholes off the roads.
Well, and, in this one case, Eric, that the guy's already in prison, but for something else.
Yeah. Also, we need to talk because I did get some more detail on that from our other psychic in Seattle.
Okay.
That she walked into a portal, and she knows exactly where that portal is. We just need to get people up here to walk up there, and she can identify it. What can we do with that once we find out where this portal is? I'm not really sure. And this is going to sound crazy, but if we can find someone that can not channeling is not the right word, but potentially pull her out of the portal, it's like an alternate dimension. She would be fine. That's just a potential.
Well,
so we'll talk. We'll talk.
Yeah, we will, because I got some things I need to tell you about that. So.
Okay. Anyway, so that's the newest we're doing. If you're in Washington, don't forget next Saturday, the 30th, we are having our Skywatch. It is a fundraiser for Paracon. We're going to discuss Paracon here in a second because some of the new people that are listening to this show have no idea what the hell Paracon is or that we're doing one. So we need to discuss that too.
Yeah.
So, oh my God, I just opened Facebook again, and I'll get to that later. But
don't do that.
yeah, I'll get distracted. Oh, shiny. Yeah. Anyway, Skywatch is going to be at 1600, 4 o'clock, Lake Tyee. Tentatively, I'll get it locked in tomorrow. I'll be going up to Lake Tyee to make sure it's okay, because I like to just have a sleepover kind of deal. Everyone bring their tents. We set up tents in the field. We have our s'mores. It does cost $20. It is a suggested donation of $20 because it is a fundraiser for Paracon. Like I said, you will get enormous amounts of information about UFOs and aliens. You will get hot dogs. You will get s'mores, ghost stories, and hopefully a UFO or two. We'll see. It's just a fun time to get together, watch the sky. Hopefully, I think it's supposed to be clear, as a matter of fact. And, yeah, have some fun. I know we had fun at your paranormal picnic. That was a blast. Got some good pictures out of it, too.
Yes, absolutely.
Paracon. And also, keep watching on Forest Moon Paranormal because we will be posting more events. We're doing more events in August, September. More fundraising type stuff. But, in fact, I got another potential speaker for next year. Dave knows him. But, okay, Paracon, October 22nd, 23rd, up here in Concrete, Washington, the most haunted town in this whole county. I would say the whole state, but I'd have people arguing. Anyway, we have Dave Scott coming up from Spaced Out Radio. He's going to be talking about experiencers. I'm thinking here. Because, he's got to lock it in. He's going to be talking about experiencers and the crisis they go through. We have Selena Roan coming from Texas. She's talking about doppelgangers and being an empath as a paranormal investigator. We have SJ and Russ. What are you talking about?
We are talking about the other side of the paranormal, things that people don't really think about or understand. And we're talking about safety and tools of the trade.
Outstanding. And you're doing a paranormal walk.
Yes, we're going to be doing basically a talking or walk and talk. It's kind of like a ghost walk because Russ and I investigated all of concrete and, well, pretty much all of the buildings in concrete and have found them to be haunted, and we would like to tell you guys all about it. So join in. It'll be fun.
It'll be a blast. And then we got, Tyler Allen, Standing Bear. He's coming in. He's talking about Bigfoot. He goes up. In fact, he just had a Bigfoot expedition up here in the North Cascades. I haven't even gotten to talk to him yet. Huh?
6 days.
Yep. He went up. I'm not even sure what he got. I know I'm getting the next casting he's going to do. Can't wait for that. So, yeah, I'm not sure even what he's found. And he goes up there all the time. He goes up there and actually intermingles with Bigfoot. So he's going to have an awesome lecture. He's also going to be doing and he had planned on, we were going to do a drawing for 10 people to actually go on a Bigfoot walk with him. He's going to have surgery, so we're not really sure if he's going to be able to do that or not. But he is doing the lecture, and he is going to be doing the plaster casting workshop. That will cost $20. To do the plaster casting workshop, you will get to walk away with an actual plaster cast. Then we have the VIP roundtable. Tickets for that. We still have 20 tickets available for the VIP roundtable. $25 for tickets. We're having a roundtable event. You'll get to sit and listen to that, ask questions of all the speakers, and
photo opportunities.
Exactly. Photo ops. I'll be doing a lecture on UFOs and the history of them, and as well as alien abductions. We have Christina Corvus. She's going to be doing a lecture on case management as well as psychology of the paranormal. We have Derek Tyler coming. He's doing alien abduction and Mill Labs. His experiences. He's got 2 books coming out. And then we have Amon Berry doing entity classifications and the worst of the cases he's seen. And we have Joe Teeples. He's coming and he's doing Ghostology 101 and telling ghost stories. So, awesome event. We have Pacific North Weird coming in doing an episode. They are a paranormal TV show up here. So, overall, it's going to be a blast. It's a free event. With the exception of what I told you, it costs money, and that's the VIP tickets. And my family just pulled up, so it might get loud. They went to the concert today. So that's the events coming up. Do we have any questions coming in yet? Actually, next Sunday we're going to talk about the RH factor with blood.
You said.
And the potential of RH negative being alien DNA. So stay tuned for that one. I'll also be having a listing of all the current UFO factors coming in, UFO sightings, things like that. I actually do like this format a whole hell of a lot better than the other one.
It's a little easier. Sometimes.
It is.
Sometimes it can be crazy.
It can be crazy. Mm-hmm. I'm surprised Christopher doesn't have any questions. Where's your questions at, Christopher? You got to have UFO questions. Huh? Yep.
Yeah. I see him.
He always has questions.
Well, okay. Let's get into this UFO stuff. See, I don't really do a lot of UFO things yet. Mm-hmm. I'm learning as we go along. But Russ and I have had experiences with UFOs. I mean, seeing them and some odd experiences that we've had that I can't explain. So, yeah.
Yeah, the orange basketball. The same orange basketball I saw in Germany, Russ saw. Where's Russ see the basketball? In Florida, yeah. It looked just like an orange orb hovering over Kissingen.
Yep.
And just like a light, it blinked out.
And we saw a silver orb in the sky above our house in Burlington, Washington. So.
Yeah. Eventually, also, I'll have a file listing of the various shapes of UFOs and what races they are associated with.
Mm-hmm.
So be watching for that as well.
I have a question for you.
Okay.
Okay, now you know that Russ is into wood carving, and he's been working on a project, and the guy that he's carving he's putting it out as a alien hybrid, okay,
Mm-hmm.
and he looks very very much like the Easter Island figures that you see on the internet.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Yeah, with big eyes and the whole 9 yards. So, do you know anything about like the history behind those, or whether or not they feel that has something to do with UFO or?
You know what? The Easter Island statues, I think the closest would be the Nephilim. Because the Nephilim were if you look in the Bible, they talk about the Nephilim. They're the giants of old, and they are, one of the original alien species that were supposed to have come down and seeded the planet.
Aren't they called the Watchers, or is that a different race?
Yeah, we just got into this discussion the other day too. The Watchers depends on which aspect you look at. Depends on because you got some Watchers. They're an alien race that's here. All they do is watch. They're kind of like the guardians of the planet. They were the feeders of the planet. You also have Watchers that watch over the Akashic records. They're called the Watchers. So there's a whole lot of different aspects of the Watchers. None of them are real evil. They won't harm anybody. They're only there to watch. Say again?
And to guard.
Yeah, all they do is they're guardians, and they'll probably push you aside if you start doing anything that goes against what they're watching.
Right.
But as far as harming, no, they're not here to consider them your parents of extraterrestrial parents, essentially.
Now, here's an interesting story for you. Now, I'm going to talk about this. I'm going to be on Spaced Out Radio on Thursday, which I'm really excited about, to be able to talk to Dave for 3 hours. That'll be just really cool. But anyway, I have a story that I'm telling about in my new book, The Other Side of the Paranormal, about my experience, what I can't really call it a near-death experience because it wasn't near, it was actually a death experience, and I went to wherever it is this woman took me, and I got to meet a man there, and his name was Aiden, and he called himself a Watcher.
Okay.
So, and he was very kind, and basically sent me back to get back into my body, and yeah. So you'll have to read the book to get the rest of the story. Sorry, guys.
Yeah. Oh, don't give nothing up.
No.
No, and like I said, it depends on whether you're talking about spirit, because there's different Watchers for different paranormal activities, I guess you would say. So yeah, whether you're talking alien, whether you're talking the guardians of the Akashic records, and it kills me because sometimes you have these people that I can channel and I can get to the Akashic. No, you can't. The true Akashic records, no human can get to.
It's the history. It's the history of mankind, basically.
Right, but they're heavily guarded, and you cannot channel to get to them.
Not that I've heard of.
There might be a, huh?
Not that I've heard of.
Huh. No, there might be a variation of them that you can't get to, but the true Akashic records, no.
Yeah.
So. What else? What else are we talking about tonight?
You can talk about all kinds of stuff, Eric. Whatever you want to talk about.
I'm thinking.
Well,
I know. Huh?
Get your brain in order. Let's get moving.
I know it. I know Robert's got an outstanding story about a UFO video that he took just not too long ago. I think it was last week. Yeah, freaked his daughter out, and his whole family saw it. Huh? That was in New York.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It just happened. In fact, he's got it on video. I believe he's going to post it on The Quickening, his group.
Mm-hmm.
I was hoping he was going to be in here tonight. I don't think he can because for some reason, iPhones cannot access Blog Talk.
Really? Never heard of that.
I haven't either.
Actually, if they want to, they can actually call into the guest line and listen, and I just won't bring them on air. It's just they're just listening.
Mhm.
So
yeah,
if somebody wants to call. So if you got if anybody cannot hear the show for any reason, that's in the chat room or anything, you're having problems, refresh your page. That should take care of it. And also, if you're having difficulty getting into Blog Talk, you can call. Just a minute, let me give you the phone number. You can call the guest line at 845-277-9162, and I'll see your number, but I won't bring you on air if you let me know in chat that you're just listening. Okay? There you go. You know what? We need to bring Russ on with us. That's what we need to do.
We do. Where's Russ at?
We do. He's outside working on his carving.
Oh, is he?
Take me. Just keep talking, Eric. I'll go get him.
Okay. So, hopefully on the 30th we'll be able to see some UFOs. Because we have UFO sightings up here all the time. But again, it's hard for anyone to report them. Everyone's too nervous about coming out and talking about anything in the paranormal because of the fact they get ridiculed, they get put down. So getting people to actually talk about them is hard. Here comes Russ. I can hear him walking.
Yeah, there he is. Go ahead and say hi, Eric.
Hello, everybody. How are you tonight?
There's Russ.
How's the world treating you?
Hey, it's treating me.
I'm just doing eyes on Eli. He looks pretty badass, I got to say.
Hang on a second. I gotta plug my earphones.
No,
Yeah.
Eli is the Easter Island.
What?
Eli is the Easter Island.
Talking about Eli.
Yeah, I got the inspiration from Easter Island, and then decided, to put some, do an alien a little different. Of course, all my aliens have been different. The first one I did was different in his own right. He had green skin and black blood. He was pretty cool. I don't know, Eli, what he's going to wind up looking like, but yeah, I got the inspiration from those guys, and I don't know. I always like that really long chin.
You gotta do a Bigfoot?
Oh yeah, I can do a Bigfoot.
All right.
I took a break for, I don't know,
About a year.
We had a lot of stuff going on in the family and needed a break from it, and now I'm getting back into it, and I don't know, I enjoy it, and I don't think I've done the Geico lizard. Oh God, I've done a lot of different stuff. Snake head walking stick.
Yeah, he's done all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
So,
all right.
Yeah.
So Eric, you got any questions for Eric about UFOs? Because I'm kind of blank about when it comes to UFOs.
Questions about them?
Yeah, anything that you think about that Eric might know about.
Well, okay. why is it that scientists these days, if you refer, think back to like Contact, where they were talking about if there was alien life, it would be so far away that communication would be a remote chance at best, and visitation would be out of the question because of the vast differences. I don't know, why do we think that our technology is so freaking advanced and they can't be a little bit more smarter than we are, seeing as how they're being spotted in flying ships? I mean,
you talk about our technology or theirs?
Well,
Theirs.
their technology. Why would we think that they can't be able to, make these trips? I mean, what's wrong with people?
Well, I think they're ignorant to even think that. I had this discussion. I think it was last week, as a matter of fact, that somebody had posted something about. It takes so much energy for them to travel from their planet to ours. No, it doesn't. Not really. Because think about wormholes. Think about time jumps. Their technology alone, it wouldn't take them that much energy to get here. Not at all. Matter of fact, a lot of the technology they've had, we've acquired through the spaceships that have crashed. You got Roswell. You've got Kecksburg, you've got one in Mexico, you've got one in Russia, you got the Russian Roswell.
Right.
You've got Eisenhower actually met with the Greys 3 different times in the 1950s, and in exchange for abducting humans, gave them that's where we get fiber optics. That's where cell phones came from. That's where the internet and computers came from. I mean, come on now. You can't look back in time and see the jump in technology we've had.
Right.
So, yeah, it's just you got people that you got too many people out there, for one, that the minute they see it, if they were to even see an alien, would be, it's not an alien, it's a demon. So you get back to that point.
Well, I think there is some kind of connection between certain haunting or supposed hauntings with aliens, I guess you would say. And I don't know, I just don't think it's always ghosts,
No, because you got a lot of similarities. Ghosts and aliens both go through walls. Ghosts and aliens can both cause sleep paralysis. Now, with any case that has sleep paralysis, I always encourage them to go get medically checked out first, because it can also be a medical condition.
Right.
But ghosts and aliens can both they both cause bruising. They both cause marks on the body. They can, not always.
Yeah.
You don't see spirits causing marks a whole lot, but they can. So yeah, there's a lot of similarities. That's why there's similarities between all paranormal fields.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but you know what? A lot of people don't think so. A lot of people think it's ghosts are ghosts and aliens are aliens and Bigfoot are Bigfoot, and there's no correlation between any of them. But I actually disagree with.
Yeah, and it's just like back in the 80s, you said paranormal, it was always just going to be a ghost or a spirit or a haunting.
Mm-hmm.
And ufology was ufology, and it still is in some circles today. In fact, there's a group today on Facebook that says we don't talk about UFOs or the supernatural. That's not supernatural. We talk about the paranormal. Really?
Yeah.
Well, it's all paranormal. Define paranormal. Paranormal is anything outside the ordinary. Cryptids. It can be any of it.
Mm-hmm.
Earth mysteries, the brown lights in the Brown Mountains. That's paranormal. Some would say it's an environmental condition, but it's not normal, so it falls into the paranormal realm.
Right. Yeah.
And There's another mountain. I can't remember where it's at, but if you go to the national park, you would actually see. At a certain time and a certain time of the day, you would see the lights from the spirits of the coal miners. I can't remember where that's at. I'm not even going to Google it, but
well,
yeah.
they actually have that. They actually have a situation similar to that in Butte, Montana. That it is a haunting, but you go and up near where they had this mine disaster, you'll hear voices in the night. Of course, Russ and I kind of went up there and kind of looked it over a little bit, and we found that there's a lot of breeze in Montana, and a lot of times I think the winds are carrying voices from homes that are close by, things like that. But
Butte is a very tight town.
Yeah.
It's very condensed. It's not very it's not a small town. It's your average U.S. town, but the way that the mountains are around it,
it's kind of like a bowl shape.
Yeah. So voices. I mean, you can hear stuff that carries quite a ways.
Yeah, but then there's certain activity up there that is I would deem paranormal, because of the fact that you're hearing the screams of these men burning alive in this mine. I mean, that's
right. And that's going to be residual energy from what happened to them.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't know for sure if anybody's gotten anything up there, but I do know that there's a lot of claims of UFO sightings in Montana. So it's very wide open. The skies that's why they call it the big sky country. I mean, there's all kinds of things that you see there. Bigfoot sightings. Several of those, because the mountain ranges there, so.
There's a lot of mountains there.
A lot of mountains. Yeah.
Right.
I got one for you. Bigfoot. I mean, let's just going to go off here just for a second. Bigfoot.
No, we can talk about whatever.
Yeah, okay, but we they're spotted, photographed. Of course, we've never got one because, well, it would be a really shitty thing to do to them, kill one just to prove that they're here. But we do have some physical evidence. When they disappear, dude, are they blending into the scenery because they're naturally camouflaged? Are they interdimensional beings? Are they actually going to a spacecraft? What do you think?
My theory is interdimensional.
Yeah.
Because you don't find bodies, you don't find bones, and you're going to have the argument with people. We've had this discussion before, but you have the argument with a lot of people where you don't find bare body. Yeah, you do. So yeah, you don't find bodies, you don't find bones, and there's been cases where people have had game cameras set up that you could hear Bigfoot making noise, and the camera goes white. That's not normal. That's interdimensional to me.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, and it's hard to say. I mean, nobody has. I don't know what Tyler's been. What he's said. Found on his expeditions up there into the Cascades or whatever. I can't wait to get to talk to him, when he comes to the Paracon. That'll be really interesting. I definitely want to hear what he has to say.
Right.
But,
and he leans more towards Native American, which is kind of the interdimensional theory.
Right. Yeah. I think that they're almost like a pet of whoever brings them here, and they just kind of disappear, and then they come back when they're feeding or whatever. I don't know if they're. I mean, there's some theories out there that they're some type of guardian of the natural world. Like trees and mountains.
and even on Spaced Out Radio, talking about Bigfoot. There have been discussions about Bigfoot outside native rituals, observing the rituals.
Yeah.
So
Well, Russ
that
is, Russ
lean
is
more
Native
towards.
American, so he's really into that stuff.
Hmm.
Aren't you?
Well, yeah. That's the reason I don't have too many problems when people go, well, there's a Native American, they have a protection animal on here, or is been worked over by a shaman where you don't want to be here. It's toxic land. If you're not from that, I don't want to discriminate against people because make people sound like they're less important. But it seems like if you're not connected with with those people, with the heritage, and try to understand that they were more towards Mother Nature, Mother Earth, and not so much towards mechanizing and industrializing. They didn't give a shit about that. That's kind of where a lot of this stuff came from,
Mm-hmm.
The white man kind of invaded them, and they would put curses on this land.
Mm-hmm.
And it's powerful mojo. It ain't nothing to be messed with. I mean, if you don't think it's real.
Well, they would put up like protection type animals, so almost like spirit type protection animals, and you would hear stories about people being attacked by tree beings in the woods. I mean, I have a friend that actually saw one of these tree beings not too far from here, not in Bellingham, of course, but down towards Stanwood and stuff. And she was out in the woods walking one day and ran across this being that she said it looked like a twig person.
Wow.
Now that could also be a dryad, the spirit of the tree, potentially.
Right. Kind of like on what is it, Lord of the Rings, where the tree guys, I can't think of it, elves or ents. Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And they're the spirit of the guardian of the tree. And every tree's got one, and they fall in with the fairy realm.
Mm-hmm.
How many known races are there in the alien community, or I should say, the ET arena?
In the extraterrestrial arena, there's I've got a book in the Forest Moon Library of 160 different species. It's a Russian book. It's in English, but if anyone wants to read it, it's in the Forest Moon Library in the file section of the group. And yeah, that's 160 species right there.
Okay, here's a question.
I'm sure.
Yeah, here's a question for you. Now, I'm not trying to say that that those many species exist, or I'm not trying to say that they haven't come to visit this planet, but I have yet to get a really, firm answer about this, and I'm hoping that you can help me out, Eric.
Okay.
So, why would it be, out of the billions or actually trillions of galaxies in the universe, the known universe, the only one we know about as of yet, why would they come to this little tiny speck planet out in the middle of the Milky Way galaxy? For what reason?
Okay. Think of, let's see, how do you explain that one? And yeah, it's not a definitive answer, obviously, but when this planet and this barbaric species we call humans creates nuclear weapons, it basically creates things that can be destructive to the galaxy, potentially, it kind of tends to spark their interest.
Okay. Maybe wondering why we would be so violent?
Right. That'd probably be one reason. The other, because you got to remember, I think it was back in '69, they sent up the big vinyl record with every language on the planet, and had music on it, and had all kinds of stuff on it, and maybe some of them found it. Or, I mean, there could be just some possibilities. And then, of course, some of them seeded us. And so there could be a myriad of reasons. Now, why they come from farther out, who knows? There was also wars between species. I firmly believe there's good species and bad species, and they're at war with each other, and that's why, well, so you see crazy activity in the atmosphere.
Right. Do you think that one, say like the good species, is here watching over us and protecting us from the bad species?
I do, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think there's bad species that are already here on Earth, and they live in the mountain areas, and that could be a part of the David Paulides missing peoples.
Okay.
Hey, man, we live in the mountain areas.
Yeah, I know it, and I know where they're at.
Yeah. Now, we have heard, I don't know, I think it was you that told me, maybe it was a guy we know, both know, that there's supposed to be a base in the Cascades.
Yeah, in Sauk Mountain. It's on the back
Behind
side of Sauk Mountain. On the back side where you can't get to.
Yeah, but if
I've been told there's a back side of the mountain that the trails don't go to. And basically there's supposed to be there's supposed to be a vent tube that goes from Mount Baker and actually goes to Sauk Mountain. So it could be very feasible that they live in the vent tube. It wouldn't be the first time I've heard of draconic species living in the mountains in dormant volcanoes, because they're supposed to live in Mount Rainier as well, and they're supposed to live in Mount Shasta. And I haven't heard anything about St. Helens, but if you look at the histories of Native Americans in some of their theories, and with volcanic dormant mountains, you'll hear about species that live within them.
Actually, you know what? I was just going to ask you about this volcano thing. That they've actually, people have seen, I don't know if it was airline pilots or whoever, but people have seen them flying over volcanoes here in Washington. And actually, the first sighting here was above Mount Rainier.
You know. No, not the first sighting, but the first famous. I mean, there's been sightings in Washington. Right, the first recorded, and he coined the term flying saucers, and that was Arnold Palmer in '53.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
And then just before, or just 3 days before or after, I can't remember which, was the Maury Island incident, and then of course Arnold Palmer was involved with that, and then you had the Air Force that was involved. They had the airplane crash in Oregon. They had some of the Maury Island incident material.
So where is Maury Island?
A lot of,
Where's Maury Island at?
Maury Island is right off the Bainbridge Island in Seattle.
Oh, okay. All right.
Wow.
I didn't know that.
I didn't either.
It's right out in that area, and that's where they actually reported a UFO that dumped sludge into the bay, killing a dog and injuring the guy's son. Now, there's skepticism about that whole story. In fact, Ashley's doing a report on it in conjunction with my presentation I'll be doing at Paracon.
Right.
Cool.
So are you... Well, we're going to slip back into the Paracon here for a second. So you're going to be doing your presentation like I suggested?
Yes. The history of ufology and alien abduction. Huh?
Good. Well, okay, let's slide into alien abductions for a second. How many that you know of, how many recorded alien abductions has there been in Washington, I don't know, last 50 years?
I don't have a documented number, because I worked with over 100 abductees, but that was nationwide and actually international. Since the beginning of the internet and whatnot and email, Yeah, and back then it was ICQ. That was before Skype came around. I'd be talking to duckies all the time. And, no, the first documented case was the first famous documented case, we'll say, was the Betty and Barney Hill case, and that was in the 50s.
Right.
And that was in New Hampshire. They were coming out of Canada and in New Hampshire. I think it was Highway 2. And what's unique and what I like about that case is she actually drew I think it was the Andromeda star system. And that was before they had actually seen and had diagrams of it. And what she drew that the aliens gave her was an actual exact match of what they found, later on, like years later, which adds, documentation to it. Adds validity to it. And jumping to Columbus, for example, I can't remember his name. Columbus had sightings back in 1492 that are documented in his journals of USOs that came up out of the water. And if I can't remember the map maker. Who is the map maker there? The one that drew maps.
Okay.
He actually had drawings of Antarctica, like hundreds of years before we even knew there was an Antarctica.
Wow.
And had to have been seen from above. So, I mean, there's so much documentation of proof that there shouldn't be a disclosure issue because it should already be public knowledge.
Right.
And I don't know. I just shake my head at the ignorance.
Yeah, they didn't
and
have
the
Google
secrecy.
Earth back then.
No. They thought the Earth was flat back then.
Right. Exactly.
And there's some people today that still think it's flat.
Oh my God, let's not get into that. Russ watched this video on what was it? Facebook, wasn't it?
Yeah, somebody posted.
Yeah, that some guy. I'm not gonna say what race he is, but some guy was talking about how the Earth is flat and.
Oh my God!
What else was it?
How flight was impossible because it correlated with the Earth being flat. That if the Earth was round and the planes did fly to the bottom side of the Earth, they would fall in space.
And he must be a Trump supporter.
Oh, I don't know.
I lost about 10 brain cells just watching this guy and listening to him, so I don't know.
Yeah. And that was posted on Facebook, believe it or not. Somebody found it, and we both kind of laughed a little bit.
You can go on YouTube and find flat Earth theory videos all over the place because there's people that still believe today that the Earth is flat.
Oh, Lord.
When they look up in the sky, you can see that the Earth is round and bent.
Right. I think they're going by the sandwich theory, that if you fold the sandwich in half, it makes, basically, the Earth is folded in half, which makes it flat. So you actually, I don't know. I'm trying to, I'm making my brain soup, but
yeah. Gotta do it.
But it's very strange that people seem to believe they have a brain sometimes, and you don't wonder. You don't wonder exactly where they come from.
Exactly. Well, we're going to wrap this up. We have 6 minutes left. We're only going to do an hour show tonight.
Okay.
And we got tomorrow night to talk more. Tomorrow's thearea51 cafe.
I think tomorrow night we're going to be discussing. Actually, I don't.
Rabbits and why they reproduce.
No.
Who?
No, we're not talking about that. It'll be something paranormal, for sure, but yeah.
All right.
I have thought, but it went away.
Let's have a paranormal soup.
Yeah.
Rabbit.
Just talk about everything.
Not rabbit soup. Yes, silly. Anyway, yeah, paranormal soup. I really would kind of like to talk about people who seem to think it's okay to involve paranormal teams when it comes down to trying to get attention for themselves.
Okay. That's a good topic.
Yes.
And
tomorrow night will be an hour and a half show, I think.
Right.
Okay. What time we starting up?
Hopefully. Huh?
What time we starting up?
8:00, same time.
Okay.
Okay. And that will be off in time to listen to Dave on his radio show.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So stay tuned for tomorrow night. Tomorrow night's Area 51 Cafe. Make sure you tune in I'll be more prepared next week, but stay S4 with Eric Cooper every Sunday night.
Yep.
And I'll have an itinerary for next week. I just kind of got thrown off with this new division that we're starting up today. And stay tuned for more information on that as well. Yeah.
Also, here's a rundown. Sunday nights is Eric's show, S4. Monday night is the Area 51 Cafe with me, Russ, and Eric. Yeah. And Wednesday night is Supernatural Supper with Russ and I. We're going to be talking about ghosts and all kinds of goodies.
Rabbits and why they reproduce.
No, Russ. And then Friday we're going to be talking about, Friday night is, what did I call it? Paranormal teen and tween scene. And I'm going to be teaching teenagers, which is our next generation of ghost hunters people, how to do it right. Yeah.
All right. And before anyone asks why I call it S4, S4 is the bunker that is in Area 51. And that is where they kept the UFOs that they captured and the alien bodies. And just kind of seemed like it fit Area 51 Cafe.
It did.
Yeah.
So anyway, check us out on Facebook. We have a page, Area 51 Cafe. Please go and like and support us. We will do the same for your pages. Go and see Forest Moon Paranormal and check them out and check their group out, and come over to Fog Paranormal and check our group out as well.
And leave a comment for me and let me know why rabbits reproduce.
Oh, he's going to bug us to death unless we talk about that. You know that, right?
Good.
All right. So thanks,
y'all
everybody.
Have a good week. Have a good evening.
Yep.
And
we'll see you guys tomorrow night. Same bat time, same bat channel. 8 p.m. PST, and figure it out from there. Your time zone.
Exactly.
Yeah. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
If you love a good deal, then you should know Domino's has an offer that you can't pass up. Order today and get any large specialty pizza for $10.99 when you carry out. That's right, any large specialty pizza for just $10.99. For the love of a good offer, get to a Domino's and get as many large specialty pizzas as you can carry out for only $10.99 each. Order using the Domino's app or visit Domino's.com where you can follow your order with Domino's Tracker. Don't miss out on this great deal from Domino's. Carry out only. You must ask for this limited time offer. Prices, participation, and charges may vary. If you love a good deal, then you should know Domino's has an offer that you can't pass up. Order today and get any large specialty pizza for $10.99 when you carry out. That's right, any large specialty pizza for just $10.99. For the love of a good offer, get to a Domino's and get as many large specialty pizzas as you can carry out for only $10.99 each. Order using the Domino's app or visit Domino's.com where you can follow your order with Domino's Tracker. Don't miss out on this great deal from Domino's. Carry out only. You must ask for this limited time offer. Prices, participation, and charges may vary.